Welcome. Welcome back. It is good to be together again after another full, eventful, and deeply challenging week. It seems that the world offers themes each week, and often, as you know, they seem to coincide with something in our tradition on the same theme. For me, this week brought me face to face with our collective need for patience in a very complex world. Patience. In Hebrew, the word is savlanut, and it is what we call a soul trait, one of those characteristics that we work for our lifetimes to improve, to enlarge, to make a quality of our best selves. For example, this week, I am thinking of patience because as the process of reopening continued around the country, we witnessed in the news and on our own streets, many who seem to be without concern or caution, who feel, as one article described, that they have given 3 months of their lives to this pandemic, and they are done with it. Even as many of us are finally enjoying overdue haircuts, appointments, and outdoor socializing, newspaper headlines raise the possibility that we may be wearing face masks into the year 2022. In this time of pandemic, we are heartbroken and hopeful as the protests continue. I had the opportunity to hear the words of one young African-American woman this week who explicitly challenged every one of her listeners with this sentiment. Don't think that just because you showed up today, just because you go home and tweet Black Lives Matter, that you've accomplished something. Our tradition commands us, be urgent about justice. This woman understands that urgency must be sustained in a marathon of activism, not a sprint of shifting interests. The profound needs of our wounded, hurting, suffering world cry out to us, not to mention the burdens, anxieties, struggles, and problems of our own everyday lives. There are times when we cannot turn off our consciousness, when we want to go running out of the room of our current existence. The onslaught, the noise, the cacophony of need seems insistent and endless. And if we pick up the Torah for this week, we find that the Israelites have just been consigned to 40 years of wandering in the desert. Imagine that disappointment. A journey that should have lasted a few months at most, to travel on foot from Egypt to the ancient land of Israel, will now endure for 40 years, condemning all of the adults who left Egypt to death in the desert for the sin of having been born a slave. It makes us realize that the journey from Egypt to Israel may be walkable in a few weeks, but the journey from slavery to the promised land of universal human fulfillment continues to this moment, to our lives, to our sensibilities and responsibilities. So we need to breathe. We cannot endure, we cannot survive, we cannot function with any kind of integrity or coherence without moments of in-betweenness, of respite, of reprieve, of a hiatus for health. In an effort to take our break to breathe, let us sit comfortably, but with attentiveness and energy. Let us find our places in a chair, in a special chair, hopefully reserved for your meditative moments, on the floor if that is more comfortable, wherever you feel that this is the place you want to be. Let us sit not tensely, but with attention, with focus, with intentionality. And let us draw our focus to the breath. And just notice, what does it feel like? What is it doing? Let us breathe in and let us breathe out. And let us allow that out breath to linger if it wishes. Let us allow the in-breath to last as long as it might want. And we can enjoy the fullness of feeling that follows it before we let it go. Let us breathe in and let us breathe out. And just notice, is our breathing relaxed? Is it going in and out in a regular pattern? Or are we beginning from a more anxious place, a faster tempo, or an uneven breathing? Let it be. Don't try to adjust it. Don't try to fix it. There's nothing to fix. If you're breathing in and out, that's all you need to be doing. Just notice it. How does it feel? Do you feel it in your nostrils, coming in your mouth, going down your throat, into your chest? You feel it in your belly. And if you do, maybe you want to put a hand there. Again, to focus your attention. As the breath comes in and goes out. We just breathe. And notice the miracle of it. It doesn't need our intention. It doesn't need our permission, our intention to instruct it to go in and out. It is affected by our minds and hearts, but it's also mostly independent of them. Let us breathe and try to think of nothing other than the breath. If thoughts intrude, if they intrude on the first breath in, and they will, let us notice them and try to let them go. They will be there later if they really need our attention. Right now, This is our time to be right now. This is our moment to be in this moment. Let us breathe in the sense of escape, of simple focus, of fullness. And let us breathe out the impediments to our well-being, the irritations, the frustrations, the annoyances, the impatiences. Let us breathe in an expansiveness, a spaciousness that allows for patience, that allows us to insert a breath or two where reactivity would have just jumped in. Let us breathe in that extra beat, that extra space for safety, for wisdom, for caution. And let us breathe out the quick response, the angry retort, the exasperated reply. Let us breathe in a fullness, an understanding, a perspective of gentleness, of benevolence, of kindness. And let us breathe out the smallest parts of us, the sense of limitation so heavily imposed upon us in these days. We breathe in the spaciousness that allows for a positive response. We breathe out the constrictions, the diminutions, the limitations that quarantine seems to feed. And if we cannot enjoy a full liberation of the outside, let us create a large, open, liberated, patient space within our minds, within our hearts, within our imaginations, within the places over which we have control. Let us breathe in compassion First for ourselves, let us breathe in and hold ourselves lightly, gently, lovingly, with compassion. And let us breathe out. The rage, the irritation, the limitation, but not the moral indignation that needs to be part of a larger vision. But with patience, enlarging our souls, we will know how best to make our values and our ideals live in this world. We breathe in and pray or offer or hope. May I feel safe. May I feel content. May I feel whole. We send that intention to our loved ones. May you feel safe. May you feel content. May you feel whole. And as we try to make those ideals real in our lives and in our loved ones' lives, we pray for the ability to extend it, to extend those feelings to every human being, even to the ones that upset and annoy and anger us. We pray for the patience, for the graciousness, for the expansiveness to be able to say, may you feel safe. May you feel content. May you feel whole. Let us breathe a few more moments. Just breathe. I hope you will continue to find breaks to breathe at some point every day. By way of conclusion and benediction, for this time together. I would share with you a prayer that has been circulating during this time. I don't know who originally wrote it. When I panic, God, teach me patience. When I fear, teach me faith. When I doubt myself, teach me confidence. When I despair, teach me hope. When I lose perspective, show me the way back to love, back to life, back to you. I pray for your health and your strength. I wish you a good week, and I look forward to being together next time. God bless.